I confuse you on that 6262 mutant. Oh. Can you hear me okay? This is a 6262. What you gave me was that last week. 5662. Is that right? All right. So skill and luck. What you sent me last week, if I remember correctly, was a 5662, and all that is, as you can see, we've got an inline 6262. There's no, like you said, there's no nines on that set. There's also no fives on that set, as long as you stay on axis. There's all kind of mutants. I mean, you could actually, when I throw, for example, you'll see me throwing a lot here lately. That set right there. 2, 3, 6, 3. Well, watch this. Parallel sixes, also known as a hard way with a 6 on top, but it's also a 3V. 3, 5, 3, 1. Those are just mutants of the same. All you're doing, you're moving your sevens. So my sevens are all double pitched on the front face and the back face with this set. I have a tendency more often than not to hit this one of these and one of them on the bottom. So if I've got it rolled forward, I'm either getting an 8, I'm getting a 6. If it double pitches this one, I'm getting a yo. This one double pitches, I'm getting a 3. Those happen a lot. I double pitch the top more than I double pitch those sides. So maybe that helped a little bit, but anyway, I just thought I'd come on. I'm going to practice a little bit. I'm going to Tunica tomorrow, and just thought I'd get my regular night before practice in. So right now I've got the small dice, and I don't know why they're setting across 6, 6, 3, 6, 2 with one turned over. Let's see what that gives me. I'm just kind of looking. Well, that give me a 5, 2, 7. So what I try to do on the nights before I'm leaving town is I really just want to verify I'm still getting the numbers that I'm typically supposed to be getting. So if I go to that 5, 3, 1-3 set I showed you a moment ago. I'm just going to throw it a few times and see what I get out of it tonight. Six. I'll throw both sets. You notice I always practice with the same color dice right before I leave for a trip instead of using two different colors. That's just kind of one of those things I do to make it as close to what it's going to be like when I get there. Of course, we're not going to know what color dice they're going to give us. Doesn't really matter, but I like to use the same colors. 3, 2, 5. Skill and luck about, I stay on axis only about 48%. I'm trying to push it to 50, but it's a journey. And the minimums, Cajun Man, they're just like everywhere else. They're going to be $15 and $25. Hey, Crouch for Life. I appreciate y'all just stopping in. I did another unannounced live stream. Why is it unannounced? I'm not really sure how to pre-announce it yet. I think I know. There's that 3 I mentioned. The top and bottom got me a double pitch, but it also got me an ace deuce. So I'm going to be using this set on a crapless table. And if I can hit those ace deuces and 11s, I'm going to go to town. Six, 4, 10. Right now I'm getting more or less getting what I expect. John, I had a great trip in Vegas. It was rocky to start. First couple of 3 days, it was real rocky. Up and down, scattered, and impossible to get on a cheap table anywhere. But I had some good runs at I had a good run at the Bellagio, but I had some super runs at the Cromwell. That was ugly. There's another one of those yos. There's the yo. See, both of those, just so you'll know, let's go back and look at that. There's a 5-3, and I'm throwing the 5-3, 1-3. This one double pitched, and I got my yo. Pitch before that, this one double pitched, and I got my ace deuce. So it's kind of what I expect. When I was throwing this dice set at the Cromwell, I would have made 3 times the money probably on a crapless table. Because I really, on that 50-minute toss I had there, it was a lot of 3s and yos in it. There's another 3. I get in a long run like that, I get too superstitious to change dice sets too much. I was killing the 6-8, a lot of 3s and 11s. But 4s and 10s, I mean, everything was hitting, but God, hit that 6 and 8, pushed up to $420 each. There's 8. So if I'm on a crapless table and I'm throwing these numbers, I'm going to bet 6-8, and then I'm going to bet just the extreme numbers to start. And then I'll throw in a 4 and 10. But I will press the first ones that hit just on themselves instead of scattering the winnings out, because you can get a lot of money left on a table on a crapless in a hurry. There's another ace deuce. Getting what we expect at the moment. If I'm getting that this weekend, it'll be fun. Did y'all watch that landing zone video I had come out yesterday? I wish I could get my dice to land like that tonight. It's another 8. I'm rolling my wrist a little bit. There's a 4. Look like a better toss. I don't throw a whole lot right before I go out on a trip or go play. Just kind of want to, I don't know, stay loose. That's not really going to happen, but just kind of go there tomorrow with some confidence that my sets are still working, still getting the same numbers I should get. See, we've got 3 8s now. So if I'm getting those kinds of numbers, I'll feel good and confident. But sometimes the surfaces are going to be different, of course. So every table is like a fingerprint. They're all different. There's our aces. 2. So, right now I'm kind of heavy on the 8. Some table tomorrow, this weekend, I may be heavy on the 6 with this set. Or heavy on the 5s. I've done that too. Whatever they give you, you got to be ready to adapt. But when you're getting what you're expecting, that's a plus. There's a 5. 3 2 3 2 5. See. Yeah, Cody, you'd fly into Memphis. You'll be less than an hour's drive from Memphis. Though I've never flown into their airport. So yeah, Memphis, once you get to Tunica, if you don't like cotton fields, there's not much else to do. Except gamble. And even that's limited because a lot of casinos are not there anymore. Gold Strike and Horseshoe, they'll be wide open. Everybody else, all the ones that's left down there now, there's a 7. They're all catering to the elderly slot players mostly. All right, so with the small dice, that's what I had right there. So what I do then is I pull up large set. Throw the same set, see what I come out with on it. Make sure, because some of the casinos, one casino uses the large dice, one casino uses the small dice. Hard 10. You'd be surprised at what the different numbers you'll get. You may end up with the same number of tosses. Some think the bigger dice are easier to throw. I don't know. They fit my hand better. But there's an 8. Back on the 8 train. No problem, Cody. Hey, Will. We're staying at the Horseshoe. Caesar's been good to us. That casino's been real good to us. Good news is I'm going to the casino. Bad news is my wife's a slot player, so that can be dangerous. But she has not been all year. She has not been all year. And I've been multiple times. So we're going to go, and I'm just going to hopefully I'm just going to low roll, be a low roller, hit some all tall smalls or something. There's a 5, because I need that just to keep up her slot play sometimes. Don't tell her I said that. I do have a new table in pieces in my garage. There was a quick 7 out. We're about 4 tosses. Let's try that again. Hopefully she won't watch this live stream, Cody. I got some local friends that'll be there. We'll play. Man, I'm rolling my wrist over. Y'all see how those dice went that way, didn't really hit the wall? It's because they landed on their right edge and just took off. That's caused by when you throw, instead of throwing straight, you're kind of throwing this way like you're going to shake hands with somebody. You're raising that wrist, you're rolling that wrist over. That makes those dice land on that right side and kick left. I don't think those ever hit the wall. I think they just ran straight. I think I had a 6. So when you see that on your practice rig or in a live casino, you kind of know what you did wrong. That was a pretty shot. That was an ugly number. 4-3. All right. Change. I'm going to change to that mutant set we were looking at a minute ago. I'm going to go 2-3-6-3. I rechecked everything in Bone Tracker. I've got almost 1,300 on this one particular set. Everything's staying pretty close together. 4. I had a string of 7s that were made some short rolls though. Dropped my SRR on that particular set, but not having any good luck. That would be a PSO in the real world. So immediately, I know right now what I'm going to do tomorrow night, assuming I'm on a $15 table, 25, I'm going to treat it the same way. I'm going to do a pass line bet to start. Trying to decide what I'm going to throw a regular conventional 3V. I'm going to put my threes on top, 3 and 4s on bottom. But what I'm going to do is, like I've talked about in that qualifying video, is do a come bet immediately. First bet, especially until I get warmed up and get a good feel for which table I'm on, because every casino there has got about 6 tables. And so I'm going to start with a come bet just in case there is a PSO lurking. Tosses like that, they will be. That will go to the 5. So why am I raising my palm? Why am I going thumb up? Well, for me, can y'all see this right? A lot of times I stand too straight. And when you stand too straight, for me, when I set the dice, I have a tendency to, number one, cock them. And then I have a tendency to arc my throw. And so when I release them, they're not flying like we want them to fly. I end up landing hard on those right side edges. So what I have to make myself do when I start seeing that is, for number one, make sure I'm a little further over the table and over my dice and not cocked. See, that's why I don't throw that 3V I mentioned earlier. Remember me telling you, skill and luck, if you're still out there, that I have a tendency to double pitch the tops. That's it right there. So that's one reason, if I were shooting something like that, I would, of course I know my tendencies. And if the bounce is causing it to act differently, let's do 2 1 3 1. This sort of give me some horn numbers as well. Those crapless tables. This 6. So I think what I'm going to do, if I'm on a crapless table, if I'm confident in how my shots are going, instead of doing the come, if it's a $15 table, I'm not going to do it if it's on a $25 table. But if I get on a $15 crapless, I'm going to have $60 working on the extremes. I want to do 15 on the 2, 3, 11, and 12, and I'm going to have them working on the come out. See if I can get a quick hit. That one just dribbled because of the way it bounced. That wasn't really that much of a bad toss. It landed pretty well. Got a 5 out of it. So this is my boring pre-trip routine. I don't know if y'all have one. A lot of people go down and throw a lot. So what I'll do too, and we're not going to leave till probably noon, maybe a little earlier, is in the morning I may come down and just throw some, just to keep my fingers kind of limber, used to being on the dice. Hey Jackson. So yeah, if I can find a horn set that's working good. My problem is I'll be on a regular table and start throwing horn numbers instead of being on the crap. I've had that happen a lot. 4, 8, 4, 10, 5, 6. That's about right for this particular set. Bone Tracker says it's kind of thin on the 6s. Well, that was pretty to be a 7, wasn't it? Landed down there perfect. It's gonna happen though. It's gonna happen. Anybody got any questions on anything while you got me live? Type them in, I'll try to answer them. Somebody mentioned axis was, I think it was skill and luck. If you're throwing a hard way, it's real quick. It's real easy to tell. If you see a 6 or a 1, you're not on axis. There again, that double pitch for me, I mean, I have really got to be zeroed in on my toss. Throw a hard way set. So many double pitch 7s there. So when was I in Vegas? I was in Vegas about 3 weeks ago, and I saw a lot of glass. I saw a lot of glass, and they were not quite. My shoulders would almost touch both sides of the glass, and I refused to play any of the tables that had all the Boyd properties had glass in front of you, except for one table at the Cow. They had one that was all glassed in, little phone booths for everybody to play dice in, and they had one, because of the crowd, that they opened without. Hey, Moo. Hope you're still feeling good, Moo. You're supposed to be on a dice table down there in New Orleans, aren't you? Or did y'all head back? Y'all may have headed back. So yeah, Vegas is full of glass, and I'm going back in June for about a week. There, that double pitch 7 on the hardway set right there. All right. You know, something I hadn't thrown in a long time. 2V. If I was going to throw it, I'd probably roll it to a 6-4 on top, 2V on the front facing me. 6-2-4-2. Get a 3. That's a typical 2V number for me right there on the come out roll, seems like. I try to always bet the ace deuce if I'm coming out on a 2V set. So I've got this new table that was made for me. That's going to be the point, I think. So I went to the 2V. Went to and picked it up in the pickup truck yesterday. It's a beautiful birch and maple 12-foot table, and it's in total pieces. It's not finished. That was part of the deal. Actually, I'm going to adapt the base that this table is sitting on to work on the new table, to be used for the new table. I've got to downsize the base here. And obviously I got to stain and varnish, a little bit of sanding, not much, but I got a brand new layout. A brand new layout right here just for this new table. And it's got fire bets and the all tall small on it. And it's got my logo on it. So I'm real proud of that. No, that's it. Did I say fire bet? It's all tall, small, and hot bets are on it. So I'll be doing pictures and short videos and then put together a video of it going together or me working on it. All right. See, that's a hard 10. That was perfect with my pitch. On that one, I'm just through. There's the 2-1. There's the 2-3. These are backwards. So I roll it forward at a 6-2-4-2. Well, on the back side of it, I get more primary face hits here and here. And so right there was my hard 10. So I knew automatically I had some facial control going in with this set. or with all the sets, but with that particular toss, I know immediately that if I want to put a little wager, I'm gonna go hard 4, hard 10. I'm not even gonna fool with a hard 6 or a hard 8 if I'm throwing this particular set, just because I know my tendencies. I'm just taking that 2V and I'm rolling it, because if I double pitch, usually it's going to be either a 9 or a 5. I don't want those 2s up there and end up with that ugly 2-5 number. That's just down to knowing your tendencies, which faces you tend to hit the most. There's the aces. There, I'm gonna hit a 2 and a 3. The 2 come out crap numbers. Yes, Joe, it is. Only way I can keep up with them is on Bone Tracker. The only way I can keep up with my tendencies. Easy 6. So I'm excited. It's going to probably take me 3 weeks, 2 weeks. Depends on how much of a hurry I get. I'll try to take my time, get everything stained up nice, varnish, light sand, revarnish, and I haven't picked my color out yet, but it's beautiful wood. So since I'm in a gray, I may go with a 2-tone deal. Let me try 2 different shades of gray. It just depends. I'm thinking about gray because of the walls in here. Yeah. So not real sure yet. We'll go look at some colors. I picked up I went to their trash pile at the wood shop and picked up some pieces of maple and of birch that they were getting ready to throw away, so that I could test some stain, make sure I'm happy with the color before I put it on the actual tubs and everything. Joe, I can't wait to see it either. Here's my problem. Number one is I got a full-time job, so I'm gonna have to. But I can guarantee you a lot next week. I'll be when I get back from this casino trip, I'll be putting some stain on it and working it. Not doing it at night a little bit is going to slow me down, which is a good thing because I tend to get in a hurry. And I'm gonna go look for some more underlayment. Boy, that one hopped over there. And I don't know why that one hopped so hard. It hit hard on this back rubber is all I can figure. I got a 12 out of it. They cut that whole thing. You know, probably shouldn't even say how quick I got that table. That guy contacted me and asked me if I wanted a table about 12 days ago. And it took me about 30 seconds to say, yeah, I'll take it. And then we firmed up the deal on Monday, a week ago Monday, and I picked it up yesterday. So 10 days. Of course, they cut it out on a CNC machine. It's all computerized cuts. No, I've got a new layout there, dice grinders. It's all on this roll. I've got a new layout. I think I posted a picture of the template a while back on Craps Nation chat. But it's gonna have the all tall small. It's gonna have all of the hot bets, and it's gonna have my logo across the top. And it's a 2-stick 12-foot table, 2 sticks. So I won't have the big bank. I don't have the extra cutout over there. Both sides are identical. I'm going to do it like I've got this one. And it's probably going to be lighter than this one because this is all rough lumber stuff here. There's a lot of 2x6s and 2x8s in this thing. So I'm going to keep it on those big round furniture glides that you can buy. They're nylon with some foam on them. The nylon, I can slide the table. I can slide this table on it by myself. So that one should be lighter, a little bit lighter. Couldn't be much heavier, I wouldn't think. So if I want to, I can slide it out and then I can just go over there and shoot this way. I'll probably have kind of a normal bounce on that end and probably a bouncy end here. And if I know I'm going to particular casinos, I can just slide it out, walk over there, and practice on the bouncy side. But I am going to put a lot more bounce in it than this one's got. I've worn this underlayment out. You like this 6-4 over the 2s, John? Seems to be working. My toss is off, but I'll take that on the crappus in Mississippi all day when you're throwing aces. I'm leaving tomorrow, Stonewall tomorrow, probably about noon, maybe a little earlier. Oops. All right. Didn't do that right. Here we go. Boy, that's awful. 5-4-9. I'm not hitting my landing zone at all tonight. I'm trying to be too easy with it. 5-4-9. I don't even know what the point's supposed to be. So hopefully I'll have a whole lot of happy news come Monday. Do a really good trip report. $4-2-6. You know, that set's working right now. It's working pretty good. As long as I throw it decent. And that layout, Arnell, has got it's going to be similar colors to this, but it's got a little more gray in it. And so I'm thinking about doing a gray wash, maybe, at least on the inside. It's going to have a mirror on one side over there, but if 9 was the point, that was the point. I lost track. Hitting a lot of uptown numbers and craps numbers. Another aces. Look at that. Another come out aces. They'll hate me on the crapper setting that as a point. But actually, most of those crapless guys in Tunica, nobody plays the pass line except the shooter. Everybody does place bets. They're hardcore on their crapless up there. Let's switch dice. Let's go to the small dice. See if we're getting anything, getting the same. There's a 10. That was a top side hit right there. There's a 5. It's the first 5 I've thrown with that set, but I changed dice size, so I don't know if that has anything to do with it or not. There's a yo. That would be the tall. Now, if I could just hit that 4, I would lay that 4, depending on how much I had on the all. I would definitely lay that 4. There's a 12. Biloxi on the 29th. The IP tables, I have a love-hate relationship with those tables. Hard Rock, I like Hard Rock. Thank you for liking the channel, John. I appreciate it. That I still enjoy it. They've got some good dealers that I've gotten to know. The host treats me real well at the Horseshoe, and The only thing I'm going to tell you is during the shutdown, they took out the best table in the house as far as I was concerned and put in one of those electronic tables. And then they recovered everything. So it changed them up. And so I haven't won as well at the horseshoe. I've been winning better lately, last few trips, over to Gold Strike, which used to have really, really bouncy tables. And so now instead of really, really bouncy tables, they're just really bouncy. There's a 5. Yeah, I will do a trip report, good, bad, or ugly. So Stonewall, I'm going, in case you missed, I'm going to Tunica tomorrow. I think you already asked that. Bouncy is the Beau Rivage. Good question. Probably, but it's a different type of bounce. Those tables at the Beau Rivage, I've always had good luck on, or had good runs on. A lot of people hate them, but if you haven't played them in a while, you might give it a shot. The crapless table on the far end on the first row next to the sports book, I had 11 points on that table one morning. I love that table. I made a lot of crapless money on that table. 6, that's the point. I may have to try this set some this weekend, depending on what the others are giving me or not giving me. There's another thing, John, at the Beau. If you play at the Beau, the 2 tables there's the roulette machine, roulette wheel. Then there's 2 tables. Right behind you is the hostess. The very first one has got a big dead spot down there in the hook. And so if you're not careful, your dice will just land and die right there. And they don't usually die in a favorable number for me. Now the Hard Rock, we had some good runs there. When you walk in the main entrance there's 2 tables, and then there's some more tables over here. My favorite table is on the other side next to the restaurant. There's no bonus bets at the Hard Rock. Just straight craps. Just straight craps. By the way, the Harrah's, if you go there, they resurfaced the tub, and believe it or not, it's not as bouncy as it used to be. It's still bouncy now. Don't get me wrong, but it's not as bouncy as it was. So the tub is just a nice, easy, soft little toss, but it's going to bounce. But they've got the new bets. Instead of the all tall small, they still got the same thing. They call them different. And they've also got a bet that pays 75 to 1 if you can hit those horn numbers right there. And then they've got another one that only pays 12 to 1. And that's just for your box numbers. So what I normally do is 5, 5, 5 on all tall small, and I try to put 10 on the horn number bet. Makes a pretty good little payday. You can hit them. There's another 5. I can't buy a 4 for anything. I need a 4 for this all tall small on this hand. I will be there, Craps for Life. I will be there. I'm planning to be there anyway. Well, for me, they were worth the money, but the first one I went to, Craps, I was disappointed until I got home and things started sinking in. I thought I was just going to go and they were going to change my game immediately. Now, this will be the first time I've been around Howard, other than we played some craps together. But you got to go in with a moderate expectation. Let them work on your grip and your toss. If you need, the betting class, it depends on where you are in your betting. If you're fairly new or want some tips on the betting, they're going to do some betting on the Saturday class. The Sunday morning is all about betting. You're going to pay. It's going to the trip will pay for itself. It's just a matter of whether it pays for itself while you're there or your next trip. Like I say, the first one I went to, I had such high expectations of what they were going to do for me that, they couldn't match my expectations. But I went back again, and then I went back a third time, and I'm thick-headed, but by the time I went the third time, a lot of things really started sinking in good. So I recommend them. But I always tell people, temper your expectations. And I've been there when other guys would sit there with their arms crossed in a chair and their chin on their chest, and they would bitch and moan the whole time, not learn a thing, and then complain about it because they didn't participate. So those guys wasted their money, but they didn't participate. And to be honest with you, they were the ones that needed to listen the most. Another 5. We're hitting some box numbers with that set. Both size dice. Yes, it is expensive, John. But at the same time, and I'm not trying to sell them, I love them. I play with them. I've taken their classes. I went through another class a little bit just for a tune-up in Biloxi when they were there the last time. And I'm going to go to this next one, mainly just to be around Howard. See if his off-axis stuff is any different than my off-axis stuff. There's a 7 because I made a terrible that throw. That 7 is on me. So that lay on that 4, if I'd have laid that 4, I would have paid for it. Send me an email, Craps, if you got any other questions. I mean, like I say, it's going to be a good time. It's it depends on I've seen them rebuild. I've seen them rebuild people's grips and toss. First time I went, they said, don't change a thing about your grip. So I was surprised. And they mainly watched me throw for a little while, and then they changed my set. Well, changing that set, Didn't seem like a lot, but I think I hit 2 all tall smalls while I was at that class on that set getting coffee one morning. So, yeah, they pay for themselves in different ways. But even then, I thought, I was still like, man, I thought they were going to set me up, or I could like call my own number or something. That's not going to happen. That's you get heavy and whether it's heavy in Nate or heavy in Howard, you're gonna get the good, the bad, and the ugly. They're gonna go out and play. Everybody plays as groups, and you're gonna catch some hot hands from somebody, and you're gonna throw some bad hands yourself, like I do. Would I rather play in Tunica or Biloxi? Well, I have more options in Biloxi. I enjoy going to Biloxi. Tunica is a shorter drive. It's a less stressful drive. Biloxi drive coming back, especially like on a Sunday, when you're coming back from the beach area, going straight north, it's always the drive back is a pain. But I'm saying that, and I've got 2 reservations for Biloxi in July. So, I'm a glutton for punishment, I guess. But it's an easier play for me to go to Tunica. So there's pluses and minuses. But I play at several. I like Biloxi because I can, if I'm having a bad run or this table's full, I can get in the car in 5 minutes. I can be at a different casino and see what their tables look like. What casino is it at, Craps? What do you mean? What casino? Are you talking about the class in Biloxi? If you are, the class is held at the dealer's school in Biloxi. They rent it out. That's one of the reasons you have a cost. They got to cover that overhead. They rent that out from the craps dealers or from the dealer school for 2 days on the weekend. So they got to cover that expense. Then they're going to cover their travel expenses, obviously, and et cetera, and probably have a small bankroll. I mean, if I was running a class, that's what I would do. So you'll end up at the dealer school all day. They have 3 tables at the dealer school, in addition to all the other things that they teach dealers how to deal. We walk about a half a block for lunch, come back, break off as early as they can, then everybody goes and hits the tables. Everybody breaks up in groups and sends messages on where they're at, what the conditions are, keeps everybody informed on that. Any other questions, I guess, before we end this? I've been on here for an hour. We could have a nightcap. Yeah, the class. Okay, hopefully you heard everything I said, that it was at the dealer school. It's not at the casino. Good. Okay. And really, that keeps you from having any distractions. Now, if you go in Vegas, they do that at a private residence. They break for lunch. They go to a casino for lunch, and that's kind of like having a 2 martini lunch when you go to a casino with craps players, because you never get back from lunch on time if you go to a casino for lunch. let me know if you go. I'm reserved, so if I'm not broke, I'll be there. Yes, I am. I am self-taught. I started out watching videos. Well, I mean, I've been playing craps for 30 years, but I did not get into trying to influence the dice till about 2.5 years ago. And I'm just like everybody else's journey. You know, I used to take the dice and I'd set them like this, and then I'd do a pendulum toss. I did that for a long time. And then I went to a shorter pendulum toss. I'm not really setting the dice here, but I'd take these dice and I'd set them like this and do a little shorter throw. Then I started for a long time. I'd take the dice, set them like this with my hand knuckles on it, and just throw like this. So then when I signed up for Heavy's class, I knew that he teaches everybody to shoot from the deck. So I take the dice. I knew that. So it took me a while to learn that. So I had it kind of down pat, apparently. That toss right there. Before I went to the class. And that was, I've been shooting from the deck only with my dice on the cut edge on the deck for 16 months. So, but yeah, I was self-taught. In fact, I can remember them going, it's funny the things you remember, and usually it's the things that inflate your own ego a little bit. And I guess I'm as good as anybody to have an ego like all of us do, but if somebody inflates it, you kind of remember it. And I remember sitting there and they were watching my grip and they were watching my toss because I was already throwing from the deck. And I remember Heavy turning around to Nate and going, his toss looks pretty good for self-taught. And I think that was his words. And Nate went, yeah, it does. So they didn't really want to change a lot. And if you got a decent toss when you get there to a class, they won't change a lot if it's decent. Now, if your toss is way off or your grip's way off, they're gonna work on that immediately. But he's had some GTC guys in there, and they were all doing the GTC pendulum toss, and they didn't change them from tossing that way because it worked. What they worked with on them was their grip, their landing zone areas, that kind of thing, to get them more in tune with what they were already doing pretty well. There was another GTC guy that was in a class. In fact, I played with him again in Vegas when he wasn't in the class. And because of some medications he was taking, he had a trembling from the medication in his hands. And so his hands trembled. And so he specifically went to that class because of that. He had the shakes. It was all because of his medication. But when they got him to learn to set that dice down, and he was a left-handy, they got him to toss better. So people go for different reasons. I enjoy it. I enjoy the fellowship, camaraderie, and trying to catch a good run with somebody. We'll see you there, Craps for Life. I am planning on being there. It's going to be a good crowd. We're going to have a lot of pros down there. Last time we were in Biloxi, half the pros in the country must have been in Biloxi. They were from all over the country, from all the different schools. It was packed with shooters. It was a lot of fun. Well, guys, I thank y'all for watching and subscribing and taking a little bit of your Thursday evening to watch me get ready for tomorrow. I do have some videos that should be dropping. I think I did one last night. It'll drop probably tomorrow night, and that'll be it for the weekend unless I figure out some way to do something from my phone. But I always say that and I never do it, so don't expect it. I get busy shooting craps. But anyway, thank y'all. I'm going to end it right there. I appreciate y'all very much. Y'all all have a safe weekend, blessed, and hard ways and long hands to all of you. We'll talk to you next week. Thank y'all very much.